So, tomorrow night is the last game of the Europa League phase. It is Fcsb versus Manchester United in Bucharest at 8 p.m. And fourth versus eighth, and that's Man United in fourth, by the way. It's not quite Premier League settings, but still. Um, the importance to winning games doesn't change for Manchester United, with transfer business going on in the background, trying to salvage whatever we can for the season. With Patrick Dorgu on the way in, and also Heaven having arrived from Arsenal, probably another player that's bound to be sold a couple of years down the line. And overall, it's a game that I think I'm intrigued to see what sort of a matchup is going to be, because with FCSB, you'd imagine a Romanian team not really going to be all that good, not a very technical team. But then again, the venue they've got is absolutely massive. The Arena Națională in Bucharest with 55.6 thousand. So the venue is by no means a small venue. And I believe they are doing relatively well in their own league. So eighth place in Europa League is not really a scoffable feat. They're actually quite a solid team in the Europa League so far this season, having beaten Karabag away. That's 3-2. Beaten Hamburger as well, 2-1. So they picked up some results against teams sort of probably a somewhat level playing field of quality. So they definitely do punch quite hard at their sort of weight. But Manchester United, I think, in various circumstances, could look at this game as a banana skin game. Definitely not one that I'm hoping I'm hoping we win, but it's one that you can't say that it's absolutely a guarantee that Man United win this game. But I hope that it's one that we can sort of go on, win this game, just to guarantee top eight, because I think that's the most important thing at the end of the day. Guarantee top eight. It should, I think, if I'm understanding this competition correctly, that it should, a bit like the old Europa League, cut out an entire round of fixtures. I think that's what the extra knockout or the playoffs round is. So that if you play in the playoffs, if you win that game, you go on to play the one of the top 8 teams, and that essentially carries in to the that essentially will carry into the round of 16, essentially. So it's interesting. I think that with getting top 8, if we end up getting an extra 2 games taken out of midweek, I think that's going to be nice for us, especially on the scheduling. I think a couple of midweeks of just training without needing to worry about midweek action. And I think, if dependent on what sort of transfer business we do between now and the 3rd of February, we should see a couple of players given a bit of extra time to sort of get up to speed with Manchester United, whoever those may be. So we know that Patrick Dorgu's coming in. A reasonable deal, I would say, about £25 million. Personally, I could have seen that be less being paid, but 25 mil, reasonable add-ons, and a very respectable wage. 30,000. I think previously was in 10k, bumped it up to 30k. No crazy like hundreds of thousands a week, just straightforward 30k deal until 2030. Does the business, and the sort of player that Amarim wants It's no stupid negotiations, and becomes a player that if it doesn't quite work out, we can always then sell them on, because the demand will still preferably be there, and the wages are, you know, small enough to warrant us being able to actually entertain teams in the market. So, not like a player like Anthony or Rashford, who probably at the moment, valued about 30, 40 million. I mean, Anthony's probably valued about 15 to 20 mil, but the wages are astronomical, so nobody really wants to pay that, unless your name is Real Betis, which is a bit of a crackhead, bit of a crackhead team, but nonetheless, um, I think Europa League is Europa League a competition that Man United will probably win. Personally, probably not. Probably won't win Europa League, but I think as far as the standard of quality of Europa League, I think look at some of the teams. I mean, Lazio and I think Frankfurt. I think it's Lazio and Frankfurt. Are Frankfurt in this competition? Yes, they are. Bilbao in the competition, but then again, Athletic Bilbao got absolutely slapped by Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's Besiktas. So some of the Turkish teams could cause us problems. They could give us an issue or two to think about. Um, of course, Lyon and Tottenham also in the competition. Ajax are there, Real Sociedad are there, Roma are there. So there's a few teams there that could pose problems for United, but ultimately, with all things considered, I personally would look at that and say, yeah, no, Manchester United should, by default, be the favourites to win the whole competition. But knowing this season, that's not as easy as that. So, yeah, I'm looking at this right now, and I'm feeling very much like there's absolutely no way we're qualifying for Champions League through league matters. So I think there'll probably be a bit of emphasis, not as much on FA Cup. Not as much on FA Cup. I think the emphasis will be on the Europa League and doing as best as we possibly can in that competition. That way we can get through into the Champions League through the back door. So, yeah, Manchester United, priority-wise, I think we'll be looking at trying to get as much of the eggs into the basket of Europa League as possible. And I think starting tonight to guarantee that we do get a leg up in the competition would be very, very important. So I'm hoping that the team turns up with the incentive to do so. What the hell is going on with my throat tonight? Just dried up like a nun's vag. But still, score predictions. I'd probably go with either 2-0 or 3-1 to United. Probably not a blow away, given that it's an away game. Always difficult in Europe. And yeah, ultimately, I'm hoping that it's a simple get in, get out job. Just go there, do what you got to do, and get back home, basically. Fucking hell. So yeah, as far as the team is concerned, I'd imagine a bit of rotation, not a huge amount of rotation, but just a little bit. I would expect. So, looking at that, I'm probably going to say semi-strong, maybe a couple, probably not the strongest, but strong enough to say, yeah, we ain't throwing the game to say, yeah, it's not necessary. Don't have to win this game. So yeah, don't have to do any of that. Anyways, I'm going to get out of here before my throat turns into fucking strep throat. Because otherwise I'm going to die. So yeah, let me know what your predictions of the game are down in the comment section down below. What score predictions are? Who do you think is going to play? Who do you think is going to be important? Who's going to play where? Hopefully we see Cobby in the 10 a little bit more. I'd like to see that. Experiment with that a little bit more. Amarin, please show us. And yeah, all that good stuff. Make sure to smash the likes and subscribe. And yeah, we'll catch you guys tomorrow night for the match reaction of the game. Take care, people, and yeah, we'll catch you guys later.